I'm going to show you how to hang some curtains. This is like a 20-foot section, but first things first you're going to need is to get a curtain rod. This is just one from Amazon. This is about 200 inches, and we got a bunch of curtains. These are from Costco. Super cheap, economical, easy to do. First step is going to be hanging the different anchors in order to hang your curtain. The easiest way to do this is to pick a spot and measure up from it. This is a universal spot right here. This is basically the ledge at the top of the sliding door. I measure about 6 inches up. This is the previous one that was there. We'll just take these out and reuse it. But this is 6 inches up. So you measure each and every one 6 inches up. That way the whole entire thing is level because you're measuring from this even point. So instead of just measuring from the floor and going up and having all kinds of random stuff, you can literally just measure 6 inches from the bottom of this threshold all the way across. And that way you have a even level playing field. Next, what you want to do after you get those hung and put up, you're gonna put this rod together. Kits are different for each and every one. This one has 4 different rods. This one has the standard rod, which is just to screw each one together. Then you have the big end caps and the small end cap, which are these little holes. That's where these beauty rings go on the outside to hold the curtains together. This is a adjustable one, so I'm going to get as many racks as I can on there to measure out this full entire length. I'm gonna have to put probably 5 up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they got 5. So I'll probably do 5 up at the top to hang the curtains. That way there's enough support for all these rods. Let's go ahead and do the first step. Put the rod together. A couple of tips when you're doing this, because the threads are really goofy, you do them in smaller batches. So do 2 rods together. It may not make sense when you're looking at it on video, but when you're screwing it together, these things will cross thread. They're really goofy, especially when they get long. Once it gets really, really long, what I did is I just used my foot to balance and just come over here and screw it together. You can use both feet like this and just get them to screw together. The goal is to get this level. So if I'm screwing right here, this allows it to be level and screws straight through. Whereas if you're screwing like this, the problem is there's a bend in it and it doesn't thread properly and screw together. But we got the rod put together. Let's go ahead and get these hung up. First, we're gonna take these out, but literally the part, all you do, take it apart and show you guys. This part right here, it has 2 screw holes. So you have one right here, and you have the second with a latch that just slides right over. You can put the screws right in the wall, and they literally just go right on, and you can latch them in just like that. I like to screw one in first, get this latched on, and then screw the second one in down here. If you don't have a long drill bit like I do, mine's giga long, so I can get in there. It allows me to be able to do it easily. You can just screw both screws in. Just make sure they're straight, because if not, it's gonna be roastage. But we'll go ahead and get these in and show you what's up. You can reuse these holes, but we're gonna drill 2 new ones on this one because it needs it. Those anchors are good enough, so I'm gonna leave those there. This is a mix of center block and wood in this wall. If you got center block, you're gonna have to use a Tapcon bit and some Tapcon, or you can use the anchors, the plastic anchors that it comes with. But these are Tapcons. That'll allow you to get through the cement. But this right here, these ones, they don't have the anchors in it. I could just slide some in there, or I can just drill new holes. But basically all you're gonna do is you drill a hole here, or wherever you're wanting to put it, just pretend there's no holes. Or let's just pretend I drilled my first hole. Now we're gonna take our anchor and put it right there. And then we're gonna put the screw right here, right where the index finger is at. And you're gonna latch it in like that, and then you're gonna straighten it out and put the second screw in. And then you'll have something that looks like this. You can go ahead and screw these all the way out, so your curtain rod is gonna get in there. You don't have to go all the way because you want the screw to stay in there. This basically is what holds the curtain tight. As you can see, this in there pretty good. We're rodded up. Well, I guess this is standed up. Now we're gonna put the rod in, and then we're going to tighten her up. Go ahead and make sure you loosen these things out. That way it'll go in and go in properly. but make sure all of them are loose and get them up. All right, we're rodded up. Now we're gonna go ahead and get the curtains on, and then we'll put the little end caps on. Now that we got our curtains up, we want to go ahead and adjust them. Some things you want to consider, because these curtains don't go past each of the latches. I'm gonna double up the curtains around the window. So like here, I'm gonna have this as the edge and have this closed this way. That way the full door can be used. And the same thing over here. See how I doubled up the curtain? Yeah, this one, a little bit shrink-a-dink, but it's what you gotta do. Because these curtains aren't the full entire size. So if I was to, you see how I have this latched over here just to keep it from going all the way over? It will not cover this little gap that goes in the middle. And nobody likes that little sunshine. You can kind of see it right there. That would be the gap if I didn't have this extra curtain here. So having that extra curtain there just gives a little bit of extra leeway. And you can get a little fancy with the decorations or whatever. Just add a few bundles, I don't know, whatever you want. But females, this is their decorating thing. I'm a male, so I just throw this stuff up and let them do that stuff. Now over here, this is if you didn't line it up properly. On this edge, I always like to have one hooked on the outside. That way when you pull these curtains over, it stops. So when it stops, it just keeps it from going like this. Oh man, and it just flies off the rack type of thing. Or in this case, it'll just go all the way this way. This, I like to have mine held so it holds there and it stays on the end. Also, it's on the other side, so try to close them, jam them closed, whatever, it still holds. But that's how you hang some curtains. I'm gonna get these adjusted and cleaned up and put the end caps on, but they simply just screw on, and that's how you guys do it. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out. And just so you guys can see the finished product, you can adjust them however you want, but like, it's covering the sun. That was my whole goal. Now you just have to bundle them to make them look fancy, however you want.